Welcome to Powerless to Powerful with Angela Bennett, a show that brings a sassy mix of transformative advice on health, relationships, love, career, and mindset shifting, together with some fun and laughter. Powerless to Powerful with Angela Bennett begins now. Hello and welcome to Powerless to Powerful podcast and show. My name is Angela Bennett. I am a transformational coach, speaker, and author. And my amazing guest today is a dear friend of mine, Angie Rassi. So, Angie, I'm so honored to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey?
Oh, a little bit about myself and my journey. Okay, that isn't quite where I thought we were starting. Firstly, thank you so much for having me, Ange, on your podcast. You know how excited I've been for you doing this. It's like beyond exciting. A little bit about me and my journey. Well, I suppose that, like every child, if you are from a family that's had a lot of challenges and a lot of trauma, you grow up thinking you are going to have the perfect family with a picket fence. You're going to have the great husband, the great children, and everything's just going to flow and it's going to be beautiful. And at 33, my whole world came crashing down. And my husband, after we'd been together for 17 years, we parted ways. There was a lot of confusion in that time. I did have two absolutely beautiful children, which I still have two absolutely beautiful children. They were only very young. I think around, it's really funny. Someone asked me the other day, and I don't know if they were 7 or 8 or 8 and 9. It's just honestly a bit of a blur, but I do need to actually just sit down and work that out. And I think that's when my whole world spun into personal development. So I like to think that I was really caught while I was falling. And I found the Louise Hay book, How to Heal Your Life. And after I read How to Heal Your Life, life just got better and better and better. I'm not saying there weren't obstacles. There were many, many obstacles along the way. But because I had tuned into the energy of Marianne Williamson, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, and I started devouring books and devouring courses and and then I became a Louise Hay facilitator in her courses, and so many things unfolded. But I suppose my journey came from turmoil, thinking everything was great, and then actually being really faced with a big challenge where I needed to really return within and start to make my way forward. So, is that sort of what you were asking? Sorry, Ange, you know that I've had a really tumultuous morning, so I've jumped on and I haven't had a chance to sort of regroup. But is that sort of what you're asking?
Yeah, Angie, it's perfect. So you talk about falling and being caught and then making the choice to go into, I don't think you said self-help. Sorry, I forget the word that you used. But what does that look like for you? So when you're coming from these moments where your life kind of falls apart or you want to yell, you need to yell plot twist because life changes and throws you a curveball that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
How, like, when you look at your life now and your growth and your success journey, how did you come from that place? Like, what did you, I know you just said that you spent a lot of time with Louise Hay and you became one of her facilitators. So what is it in you that shifted, I guess is my question. What is it in you that shifted and thought something along the lines of, I deserve better than this, something's got to change? How can I get from where I am to where I want to go? I mean, did you have a dream? Did you have a vision? Does that make sense, that question to you? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. No, I think I had awarenesses, if I was really honest. I think I took myself from, I've always been a survivor. I'm very rarely go into victim. As a child, my mum was an alcoholic. We didn't have my dad around. We had many challenges. And I was always a survivor. I was never one. I was always a very proud person. So I didn't mind people knowing my business, but I didn't feel defined by it.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I always knew I had my own choices. But I suppose what happened when I was older, when I was lucky enough to fall into the books of How to Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, and many books that came into my life, I think what happened was I was really ready for the real growth, the real where you take responsibility. And I think taking responsibility is absolutely enormous in moving forward. It's really awareness and then taking responsibility of where you're at. I mean, I always love the saying that you're 100% responsible for 50% of the relationship. And I think prior to that, I always felt 100% responsible for all relationships. And then once I realized that I was, well, one, taking away the opportunity of them being who they needed to be. But I think we all do this out of a sense of, if we control everything and we have everything around us working, then it won't fall apart again. But unfortunately, things have to fall apart to get better. So I think mine was more many, 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 many little awarenesses along the way. And that is done with great questions and fantastic affirmations. I mean, they have been the two biggest things in my life that have propelled my life forward to, I suppose, to be a happier person and taking responsibility. So awareness is responsibility. And I did it, I would imagine, with many good questions, great quotes. I mean, I know, Angie, you and I share quotes quite a lot through texts, don't we? And it's amazing when they just land and the right words just land in your heart. And that day, they can shift you really quickly. A great question, a great quote, or a great affirmation can really bring you back to your own energy.
Yeah, that is so true. And it's amazing how sometimes, like you said, when destruction or your life falls apart, it does happen. Okay, so Angie, along your journey, what is the most important thing that you've learned in your life?
Oh, what's the most important thing that I've learned? I think the most important thing I've learned is that your intuition will always show you the way. And how many times in life, Ange, have we had the intuition to do something, move forward, make the change, take the leap of faith, and we don't do it, but we do it 5 years later? So I would say my big piece of advice is, if you have an inkling of which way, which way to move. So you're at a fork in the road and you're not sure to go A or B, and your intuition will be saying jump to B, jump to B. However, A feels the safest. What I know to be true is that you're going to go on B anyway. It just might take you longer. So jump now. So my advice is take action on your intuition.
Oh, I
Because
love sorry, you
there's
go.
generally not another way. Like, every time I have fought something to not go down a path of heartache or a path of change or a path of challenges, what I find is I go down the path anyway. I'm going down the path anyway, so I may as well have jumped the 2 years before, when my intuition told me, take action now. Yeah, I'd say that would be, take action on your intuition. I don't know. Does that resonate with you, Ange? Does that make actually sense?
Yeah, it really does. And it's so interesting you mentioned that fork in the road, A and B, and that safe, A being that safe road and B being the one that's more in line with your intuition, but you know it's going to be challenging. And just because that A feels safe, I mean, Angie, you and I both know what it's like to stay in situations because it's easier in the moment or it's safer in the moment. And taking that step, that road B, taking that step into the path that's unknown, uncertain, unsafe, and it's so challenging. But there's so much growth in stepping out of your so-called comfort zone, which generally isn't very comfortable anyway. There's so much more opportunity of using the characteristics that we actually have inside of us of, resiliency and courage and tenacity to continue along that road B, that is so unsafe or unfamiliar, but it's challenging, and it does mean you need to step outside of that comfort zone. It means that you need to deal with the critter brain that wants to keep you stuck. It means that you need to change paradigms. It means that you need to do the affirmations to assure yourself day in, day out, moment by moment, that you've got what it takes to reach and achieve where you want to go, your purpose that needs to be fulfilled. I talk a lot about preparation and pain and preparation, and in that propels us into our power and into our purpose, is where we're refined, and it's where our purpose is fulfilled, and it's where we get to make the most impact. It's not shrinking, it's not staying back in our safe zone, it's not playing small to keep others comfortable, because you don't put a light under a table and hide it under a box. You put your light on the table for it to shine, for it to light the path for others who are looking for a place to go, or looking for a hand up, who are looking for someone who's been through what we've been through, who've done the hard yards, who've spent the hours on the floor crying their eyes out because they don't know what to do next. And they're looking for us to show them, hey, there is a way to do this. You can find sisters and people among you who will lift you up and encourage you and push you forward. So, yeah, Angie, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think that what I love about that, when you said the A, the thing, when you're at that fork in the road and there's A and there's B, A appears to be the safe, but you're unhappy. B is the new opportunity, because generally you need to be uncomfortable in A for B to even appear.
So true.
So I think that sometimes, and there's no rights or wrong, whatever way you would like to move forward, it's your path and your path only. But as you were giving all those beautiful words of wisdom, I was thinking, that it's okay to stay in A, but generally you'll find people aren't happy in A either. They're not happy because there's a discontentment inside of them that they're being presented to be more of who they are. And you're right, there are people around, you'll be around people that are trying to keep you small. They'll be trying to dim your light. And so B presents itself for you to jump, that requires a lot of action and a lot of new ways of thinking and moving forward.
Yeah, and it requires the work. It requires the commitment.
Yeah, it's so hard. Well, it's hard. It's hard because when you're first faced with going forward, but really hard is easy. It's the easy way eventually. I mean, how many times, Ange, have we spoken to women and they've said, 10 years ago, I knew I needed to leave, but I didn't have the courage to leave, or I knew I needed, and that could be a job, it could be a man. It's not, I'm not saying what it is, but as women, we all get these really strong feelings of like, I need to move this way. And then we will make excuses. Well, I'm doing this for security. I'm doing this for the children. I'm doing it. You're not really doing it for anyone but yourself, because you're trying to keep yourself in a place of certainty, a place of safety, what you perceive as safety. However, that beautiful B that's being presented is actually saying, if you jump, there's more over here for you. More, you're going to touch more lives. You're going to, and you end up there anyway. So the funny thing is, even if you don't jump in the moment you are presented with it, I don't know one person that said intuitively, I had this feeling 10 years ago. I had it a year ago. But it takes us time to process, to find that courage within us and that community that you just talked about that can actually catch you while you're falling, that can be your cheerleader when no one else has been your cheerleader for a long time.
It's so beautiful, Ange.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you. I don't know. That's just what me as you were talking, because so many of your words just landed in my heart, and I thought, oh my goodness, I want to talk about them all. Lovely.
There's so much to be said about collecting a tribe of women, or creating a tribe of women around you who are not competing with you. but they're there to celebrate you and encourage you and help you grow and collaborate with you.
Yes,
Because
yes, yes, absolutely.
I know as growing up for myself, I found it so hard to fit in and to find women who weren't in competition with me. But it wasn't
Yeah.
about fitting in. I was never going to fit in because I was different. And most of us feel the same. Most of us
Right.
will never,
Absolutely.
we'll never feel like we fit in. You don't want to anyway, because what you bring to the planet is so unique for you. I don't really know how we all really can fit in, but you can, as you look back, you can see all the puzzle pieces that fit together
Like a
to
jigsaw.
create the fuller picture, the bigger picture where you work together and collaborate and support each other and all that type of thing. It's so cool. And I really believe that when you mentioned being uncomfortable or comfortable or uncomfortable, but what it makes me think of is when we are uncomfortable, we can spend time being uncomfortable and we whinge and we complain and we whine about it to our girlfriends and whatever. But it's not until that uncomfortableness becomes more uncomfortable than the new uncomfortable. So what I mean by that is staying in A in the fork is uncomfortable, but it's not as uncomfortable as the new uncomfortable in path B. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
It's like the scales. Yeah, I always just say it's a scales. And here's where you are now, and here's your new opportunity. Until it goes like that, you just stay. But there is
Beautiful.
always a turning point. There is one day that one person will just say one more thing to you, and you'll go, this is the line in the sand. This is the line in the sand, whether it be with your partner, your husband, your job, even
Mm.
if you were going to a gym, there could be something where you're not feeling supported. And really, there's this other beautiful gym out there that's going to support you, but you need to feel the pain of where you're uncomfortable before to go there. And unfortunately, we look for this because some of us didn't have a lot of support when we were growing up, so we still will throw ourselves into those spaces where we're not supported again because it's familiar.
Yeah.
It's familiar, and until we do the work and realize this is not a healthy way to live, and actually really start to build our confidence, to build how we're going to move forward. And as we start to get all the tools and the strategies that are building us back to be who we were born to be, and then we start to meet all these other people that are in the same boat. So you actually end up with people of a really fantastic vibration and a fantastic energy. What's required to get there is a bit of work, like a bit of awareness and some action and new ways of thinking.
Yeah.
When you haven't had the privilege of growing up with lots of, I call it love and above language, and you've listened to a lot of rabbit hole language, which is that really low energy, really low energy words. So if you're hearing someone use words like hate or get people back or anything like that, instead of like acceptance, love, it's just not our time. You can really see where people are coming from. And what I've found is when I've done the work, I end up with people that use a lot more language of love and above than down in the rabbit hole. So that's a good thing. You'll know when you're on the right track, because you're actually going to leave your friendships feeling good, not walk away feeling like you've been with an energy vampire or you've been the energy vampire. You have to admit, through life on this journey, we play both roles.
That's so true, Ange. That's so true.
Mm.
So, out of curiosity, what makes you feel inspired or feel like being your best self?
Couples with girlfriends.
Oh,
When
right.
I just sit around, like when you and I have caught up, or when I've caught up with other girlfriends, that inspires me, because I now know I put myself in the energy of girlfriends who really want the best for me, and I always want the best for them. So they can ring me if they've had an enormous win, and I will be just as happy no matter what's happened in my day. And I feel now I'm in that reciprocity of that happens for me as well, where before I might have something really exciting to share with someone, and other end is like, oh, do you really think you could do that? Or don't you think this? And it makes you feel so low. So I think what inspires me is being around beautiful women with fantastic conversation that are your cheerleader. You are their best cheerleader. That inspires me. It's the little moments for me in life that inspire me. It's eating together, coffees with someone. Yeah, they're the things that really fill my soul.
Which is actually how we met, right? In a
Oh my
coffee shop.
goodness, this is how we met. So how we met was I was sitting in the coffee shop with two other girlfriends, and you came up and said, "I don't know what you're doing, but I want to be a part of that, and I love your dress." That was so funny, and I said, "Oh, you can join us if you want to," which is the story of my life. I'm forever in cafes, and people just come and join me. So the two girls were laughing their heads off, and then and you looked absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I thought it was funny you asked me my dress because I was thinking, "Oh, I love the way you're dressed. That's just amazing." And then from there on, we've been friends ever since.
Friends ever since. I think we were both wearing Camilla, or at least you were.
Camilla, I can tell you what you were wearing. As I know this is a really weird thing of mine. I don't know if I should share this publicly, but I can
Please
always
do.
remember what I was wearing the first time I met them.
What was I
I think
wearing?
it's my photographer brain. So you were wearing black shiny pants because I thought, oh, I need those shiny pants. They look really good. And you had a red top on.
Okay.
Isn't that bizarre? I know it sounds almost like sometimes I really don't share that. It sounds like you're a bit weird. But I can always remember a scarf or an earring someone had on, even if it's like 20 years later. I'll go, I remember the day we met, you were wearing this. And they go, oh my God, I haven't thought about that top for years. Like, I know it's really weird. I'd love to take a photo in my mind when I meet someone that I truly feel inspired or really admire, because I can always remember what they were wearing the first day I met them.
I love it. I remember, yeah, you were wearing like a blue, and I think it was blue and white, whatever
I
it
was
was.
wearing my blue Camilla, I think, because I remember
Mm.
you saying how much you loved Camilla. And it's really funny because when you and I have been together a few times, you've had your Camilla bikinis on, or you've had your Camilla top. So I always love, I'm like, yep, you are definitely a Camilla girl as well. I love it.
Definitely a Camilla girl.
Mm.
Now, Angie, I know a little bit about you. So, because we've been friends for a few years now. And so I just want to know, when we experience successes and wins, and the failures are what teaches us those important lessons. So, can you share a lesson? And I think I can probably, I'm hoping you will kind of relate this to your game. So, can you share a lesson that you've learned with failing forward? Because I know through your game production, there's been a lot of hiccups and, yeah, moments, but I'll let you go with that.
Okay, okay. So we'll go on the game. I think that's a fantastic one. So now talk about, if it's okay if I say this, I had an intuition in 2008 to make a game. So I made it for my Diamond Club. And I really felt my heart to follow it, but I just didn't have the confidence back then to follow it. And then in 2018, one of the Bling Babes, we were meeting in Bowral.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just going to interject because people don't know what your Diamond Club or your Bling Babes are.
Oh, okay. So I've been running women's groups now for 20 years, and we had a Diamond Club. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
And we were bringing the Sydney Diamond Club and the Canberra Diamond Club together in Bowral, where you actually did your training. But that was just one of those things that unfolded, and we couldn't believe it when we booked the hotel. And we were meeting in Bowral at the hotel where you did your certification, the Bling Angel certification. And what happened was, one of the ladies said, could you get that game out again? Do you realise that's virtually 10 years later, a decade later? Yet I'd had the intuition in 2008 to do it, and I had created it. Anyway, so the game started. I've created a beautiful game called Find Your Bling, and it's about finding your diamonds within. And it has 800 cards. Actually, I have it just here. I can show you.
Beautiful. Show us.
It has 800 cards. There's 100 in every single deck. And I have a beautiful board, but it didn't start like that. It started with 50 cards in each deck. So it started with a dice and 250 cards. And in 2019, when we all met in Bowral, people asked if they could buy the game. I said, I've just made it for you as a gift for Christmas. So I went and printed 30 games. of 250 cards, which has grown into 800 cards, as I've said.
Wow.
Because what happened was when I started this journey, it was like everything unfolded really quickly. It was like the Believe deck. Oh, no, you need 100. Oh, new beginnings deck, you need 100. Oh, there's a new deck. You need to do a gold light deck. Oh, you need to do a diamonds within deck. You need to do and it just grew really, really quickly. By the end of 1 year, I'd made a beautiful board, which I can show you my board.
Yes, please. Shaped like a diamond, of course.
It's my logo. And this is the board that we play with, which is so exciting.
Yeah,
and what happened was in it 1 year, a dice and 250 cards turned into a board, a dice, and 800 cards plus 8 divine cards. So it grew so quickly. But this was where I really grasped on and listened to my intuition. Now, here comes the big one. I put it into production, which we all know when you have a product, anyone out there that's done this, it's a massive amount of money the first time you do it, mainly because you're not very good at it. And you sort of, it's pretty clunky actually. Well, my experience was clunky. I did do my best to find a mentor that had done it, and I didn't really find the right people, and that's okay. But this is where you said, what's your biggest challenges? So there was one part where I parted with quite a lot of money and it all fell apart. Now, I could have given up then.
Yes.
And I went, no, I just need to keep going forward. You know what? Write that off, keep going, find another supplier. Let's just keep going. And I just kept going. And then, as you know, Ange, I know you were one of the persons that pre-ordered your game. So you supported a woman in domestic violence, because then we were doing 1-for-1, which I was so grateful for. So many people that did that. It was amazing.
So beautiful, Ange.
It was so great. But what happened in that journey was there were so many obstacles. Now, there wasn't only obstacles in me making the game. I didn't actually have support at home either. I was being told just to put it away. What's this stupid blingity blong blong thing? I don't even know why you're worried about doing something like this. And your heart's going to need to get really resilient when you start to move down B, where your intuition is telling you, you just need to go this way. And it is so difficult to trust the process when you're feeling, are they doing this because they're trying to protect me, or are they doing this because they're trying to suppress me? And either one, you don't need protection, get out there and do it. And if they're trying to suppress you, keep moving forward, because you've got obviously a gift that the world needs. And it doesn't matter even if it's just conversations with friends. It doesn't need to be a product. So you asked me what my greatest challenges were. 2020, the game arrived, COVID came, storage went through the roof because everyone was putting all their stuff in storage. I had everything against me to throw the towel in and go, this is just too hard. And I do need to make a reference. I know that you know gorgeous Becca McFarland. She also did the Bling Angel certification. She really caught me while I was falling through that. She was amazing. She just kept saying, keep going. I know it's what you want to do. And she wasn't telling me to keep going because she thought it was best. She could hear in my voice that it was something that I really wanted to move forward with, but I just did not know how. But it was amazing when I would wake up in the morning and go, please guide me. Who do I need to connect with today? Where do I need to get this done? Everything started to fall into place. So I think I've had some huge challenges with my game. And I think if you are going to step out and either create more love in your relationship or leave a relationship, whether you're going to stay in your job or find a new job, whether you're going to jump out and create a whole new maybe your own business, be an entrepreneur, it is going to require lots of challenges because you're going to be learning a whole heap of new strategies and tools that you have never experienced before. So there are some days you will want to go, oh my God, what am I doing this for? But there's this little person inside of you that says, this is just your learning curve. The best is yet to come. So yeah, I think they have been. Is that what you were sort of asking me, Ange?
Yeah, because I wanted to know the lessons that you learned about falling
Yes.
forward or failing forward. And from what I got from that was just to just keep going. If you know that that is your destiny, if you know that's what's in your heart. And I mean, most of us, if we've been given a purpose or a vision or a dream, like for me, I had mine when I was 19. Now
Oh,
I'm
wow.
40. Yeah, now I'm 46 and it's only just beginning to come to fruition. So it's been a
Oh, that's so
27 yeah, so it's been a 27-year journey. And like you said, you developed this in 2000, or you had this in 2008, and it was 2018, I think you said 2019, when you
nice.
actually had the game. Like dreams and visions, and your purpose, like they take. That's why I talk about preparation. They take so long to come to fruition. It's like they take a long time to happen quickly. And
I
it
think we can allow them to happen faster if we wanted to. If we were prepared to jump down we're from a generation where we weren't taught to take a lot of risks. Like if you look at the young kids these days, they're just taking huge risks. It's absolutely amazing. And you always learn something along the way. That's so exciting, Ange. I just love that you've just shared that your dreams are finally coming, all the things that you
oh,
had thought of when you were 19. That is so nice.
thank
Can
you.
I share? I
Yeah.
think the two things is when you're going to move forward is you need good mentors. So really get people who believe in you, because there's going to be a lot of people telling you not to move forward, either for protection or to keep you suppressed. I'm not sure what it is. And the other thing is just keep taking action and keep going. And that does require checking in with your intuition. There are some holes in life that we are digging a hole and it's not going anywhere. You need to get out. And your intuition will tell you whether to jump, and it's not the way forward. But for me, every time I checked in with, oh my goodness, will I keep going with Find Your Bling? Is this meant to be global? Do I
Mhm.
keep going? Every single time I had a very clear yes, just keep going. You're just learning what you need to learn. And there's so many new things to learn. Even
So
what you were just saying, Ange, how you're 46 now and you were 19. Like I would imagine in the last year, well, I already know because we talk all the time, but you've had enormous leaps. You've needed to take huge leaps of faith and
yeah,
take action.
yeah, huge. Terrifyingly
Huge.
so.
Yeah, it
And
was terrifying.
yeah, and changing those paradigms that I've had that have held me back, that have
Mm.
self-sabotage because of all the patterns and the lies that we tell ourselves, that we're not good enough, or we'll never
Mm.
make it, or no one needs to hear my story. But I think at the end of the day, when you come back to anything that we get to bring to the world, it has an impact on others' lives. It's not solely about us. Like
No.
my story is someone else's freedom. And that's what it's about. It's not about, I don't need validation and accolades from people for me to keep going and to make me who I am. What I know is that my purpose and my journey and getting my story out and bringing other people's stories out is to bring people out of this place of possibly powerlessness into powerful, hence the name of the podcast, or even just bringing that little bit of hope to like you said, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop, don't give up, because what's for you will not pass you by, whether it takes 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, 10 years. If it's for you, it will not pass you by. But I do believe that we need the journey and the process of getting there to learn and establish the skills and the foundation. So once we do make it to where we're meant to be, we don't crumble and fall off, not fall off the wagon, but we'll always have challenges. And if we don't face challenges along the way, it doesn't necessarily create the strength that we need to continue going and to have enough foundation and certainty in what we're doing and conviction in what we're doing to be able to continue and push through haters, push through people who disagree with us, people who want to tear us down and hold us back.
Mm.
So yeah, we're all on a different journey and we all need and experience different things to get to where we need to go. But
So do. And even how you and I came into each other's lives. I remember one day we were sitting down, and I'm not sure if we were at the White Rabbit or we'd walked already down to the water, but I remember you were just sharing your story. And I said, Ange, I just think you're one of the bravest women I know.
Hmm.
And I've never forgotten that. The way you looked at me that day, you go, I am brave. I go, you are so brave. Like, how many people can you help with this story of yours? It's amazing. Like, it's beyond amazing. And you are. I've always believed you are going to help so many people find their way.
Thanks, Angie. And I think because we're going through it, we don't really acknowledge everything that we've been through and accomplished. And like you said before, you've always been a fighter, as have I. And just to keep pushing, like it's just your life. You just do what you've got to do to get out of bed and put a roof over their head for your kids and to keep them safe and to fulfill dreams. And it is so important to acknowledge and even celebrate those milestones. And I'm so grateful for that day that you said that to me, because no one had ever said that to me. And
I do. I just remember your face that day. There was just such. I mean, I know that we had an amazing connection the moment we met. And when we said, okay, we're going to get together, and I think we got together within a couple of days. It wasn't even like, oh, let's catch up in a few weeks. You said, meet you Balmain down here. I said, great, I'll be there. And then of course we shared a little bit, but the second time we got together was when we really shared, and we realized we were going to have a really long afternoon together and just share our journeys of life and where are we going. Yeah, but I do remember, I always call you my brave angel. Out of, there's 12 angels and everyone has a substance or an essence that I can really see that can go out and touch the world. And I always thought yours was your bravery, because it is brave to tell any story. Some stories are not as socially acceptable as others. Like, remember in our day, it was very unacceptable. My mother was divorced.
wow.
So everyone has there's different moments in time when stories are acceptable, not acceptable. I like personally doing them when they're not acceptable. It's so much more fun. And I did think it was really brave what you were about to embrace and take on in your life, to not only heal yourself, but heal others and be other people's hope. It's amazing. I love it. I just love you. You know that. It's just
Thanks, babe. I love you too.
good stuff. You've got good stuff to offer and great words. I always love the way you talk.
Thanks, beautiful. Now, I'm very excited to introduce your game. Can you please tell us a little bit more about it, or maybe show us something? Sorry, I know you showed us the board,
Yeah,
but I don't know, maybe we can pull a card, or I do want people to know how they can find you and purchase your game if they're interested, and hold parties, whatever you do, tell us. Let's go. Let's do some fun.
So how does this game work? I'm a big one. I have a bling morning ritual. And the bling morning ritual is where first you say an affirmation. My favorite affirmation is, today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Show me the way. I always say that every morning, and I have for probably over 20 years. Then I might say another affirmation. Then I'll say 3 things that I'm grateful for. Like this morning, I'm so grateful I'm going on Angie's podcast. I'm grateful I'm looking after my daughter's dogs today. And I'm really grateful for the rain because I know they feed the flowers. You'll say 3 things that you're really grateful for and you want to feel it. Then I always ask a question. And the reason that I'm sharing my bling morning ritual is it's actually the questions that have changed my life. And even when I haven't had a question, I've said, well, what do I need to know today? And something will always present itself where someone will call me, or I'll have an intuition to call them. So I've created a game called Find Your Bling, and it's just full of questions. It's full of wonderful advice. It's full of affirmations. It's full of confidence boosters. And each deck has a different essence. So every deck has an essence and a color, and they are based to the chakras. If you're into chakras, however, you don't need to be into chakras. And this deck here, the Diamonds Within, is all about affirmations. Now, the majority of this game has all come from my journals. So these are all the affirmations I've used all over the years to either, some of them are about letting go, because there were at times where I was really holding on to anger and resentment, and some of the affirmations are about finding love. Some of them are about creating abundance. And it's amazing. There's 100 in here, and it's amazing when you're in a room, and I know you've been in these rooms before, where you can have 50 people all take a card, and every single card is different, but it's what that person needed in that moment. So I love how you play the game. Is you might ask a question, either what do I need to know? How can I find the love of my life? How can I create more money? How can I move home? How can I find the career I love? Who do I need to connect with today? And that might be because maybe your heart needs to connect with theirs to give them some sort of boost or love. And it may be because someone's coming to you. So each deck is different. We have a believe deck. We have a love deck. We have an inspiration deck. We have a new beginnings deck, a growth deck, a diamonds within deck, a gold light deck, and also a bling boost deck. So a lot of people that love to journal with the game, there's 101 ways to play the game, and people who love to journal with the game will actually just pick a deck for a couple of weeks and journal each morning with cards from there. So would you like to pull a couple now?
Yes, I would love to. I love what you just said, Angie. I didn't even think about that, journaling with the cards.
Yeah, I journal a lot with the cards. Yep. You can do intuitive journaling. Yep. This is an intuitive game. So really what it is, it's a manifesting game. And it's a manifesting game that really teaches you to tune into your intuition. And it's amazing the the blingity ding ding moments that you receive when you do this. And I know that you've had quite a few when we've been together. And I play all the time. I play all the time when I'm having a day that's full of chaos, confusion, and I will just sit, put myself in space and go, which deck has a special message for me today? And
love it.
I have to be honest, sometimes you get the cards you need, not the ones you want, but you always get the right cards. That has happened to me a few times. I really didn't want to read that today, but anyway. So, Ange, can I invite you? Oh, I've been playing with this game quite a lot and it's been mixed up. Sorry. I'll go this way. Can I invite you? Do you have a favourite deck, by the way?
This one is perfect, actually.
Right. And how about we take one from the inspiration as well? We'll take one from inspiration and one from... Which one would you like to do first? Inspiration or
the one
within?
Diamonds within, the ones you've got, yeah.
Right.
And it's right. Okay, go. Stop. It's right at your middle finger, Angie. Back the other way. Yep.
Here?
Yep.
And your card today is, oh, this is so you. I'm a beautiful soul, allowing my heart to lead the way. And when I listen, my life always falls into place.
Amen, amen, amen. What was the first word? I'm a beautiful what?
I am a beautiful soul, allowing
nice.
my heart to lead the way. And when I listen, my life falls into place.
Wow, how perfect.
And I probably add on to this day perfectly. I'm a beautiful soul, allowing my heart to lead the way. And when I listen, my life always falls into place perfectly. And I really encourage people to add words that, on the day that they need when they pull cards. So
I'll get you to send a photo of that to me after we're finished, please.
Oh, yes. Oh, where did I put it? Hang on, let me have a look.
That's all right.
Of course, I stuck it back in. Don't worry, I can find it. There you go. I've got it, Ange, for you. No problems. All right. Oh, God, that's so funny, isn't it? All right, and now probably today this is what I'm feeling I need. I really feel some inspiration would be very appreciated.
Yeah.
So share with me when to stop, Ange.
Yeah. Stop.
Okay, where would you like me to take from?
The one right on the top.
This one?
Yeah.
And the card to, oh, geez. Okay. This one's going to land. Accept what is, let go of what was, and believe in your journey.
You're going to make me cry, girl.
I know that one. I know we were both a bit tearful before this, so this is actually like accept what is, let go of what was, and believe in your journey. That really lands for me today. And I think I'll take a photo and put that on my phone today. And if you'd like it as well, I can send it to you as well, Ange. Oh my goodness.
It's amazing that we both had a teary morning, and yet we both turned up. We both showed up, and I love this because
Always.
it wasn't something I was going to talk about, but the reality is when we're in our journey or just in life, stuff happens, right? And
Yeah.
you've got to choose whether you show up for yourself and whether you show up for others. And you and I, unbeknownst to each other, both had a interesting morning where we both shed tears, and we both said to each other, should we cancel this, postpone, whatever? But we're here and we showed up. And the beauty of that is, for me, I think, or I believe, is that it's transparent, it's vulnerable, it's open, and it gives permission for others to go, oh my gosh, today's been a rough day or an emotional day or a fabulous day. And whatever it is, I'm going to show up for myself, because at the end of the day, everything that we do it does have a ripple effect. It affects those around us. And when we're on a journey of reaching our purpose, as I've mentioned so many times, there's just so much impact that gets to be left in this world, that gets to help transform and reach other people's hearts and lives, because we've been in the hard places, Ange. And
Yes.
whilst we go through continuous hard places in life, when you look back to see that, hey, I made it through that last hard place, I can make it through this. I can still show up for myself. I may not feel like it, but someone else out there needs to hear what I've got to bring to the table. They need that little bit of encouragement and motivation. And when we take the focus off ourselves and turn it towards others, like we've done today, in continuing through our emotions and our feelings and bringing this to light, there's purpose in it. And it's just like, hey, if we can do this, you can do this too. It's not always going to be easy. It's not. Keep going.
And it's no good for people to see you on your good days all the time too. Like today's been, it's not so good if people just see you on the good days. Like there are days where your heart is hurting, your heart is breaking. There's some sort of challenge that you're being faced with, but it doesn't mean that you cannot show up and share something of value.
Yeah.
Will it be your best talk ever? Maybe not, but there'll be something in it of value somewhere. That's what I truly believe. So that was one of the reasons. I know we talked about this, Ange, about moving forward. I'm like, you know what? We picked this date. It will be whatever it's meant to be. It will unfold. Whatever needs to be said will need to be said. And look at the two perfect cards we pulled today. That's already boosted our energy. And
you boost my energy.
Sorry, darling.
You boost my energy being in the room with you.
Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. I don't know about today, but that's very kind.
Heart connection. Angie, how do people find you and purchase your game? Yeah.
If you want to have this intuitive game where you can manifest more in your life, more confidence, more happiness, more of anything that you like, more love, more money, you can go to Find Your Bling. And it's there's a website, www.findyourbling.com or .com.au. So you're welcome to purchase the game from there. And I'd also encourage you that we have 12 beautiful bling angels, some of who now do intuitive readings. And other people are offering other wonderful things, like they might have courses or one-on-ones. And there's a range of people now out there trained in giving the best of all the cards to you, so you can reach out to them as well if you would like. So you can either buy the game or you can connect with someone who I know can help you get from A to B, from powerless to powerful. So yeah, you can check out both of those if you would like to.
I love that. Thank you so much, Angie. It's just been such a pleasure to have you on my show, to
Oh,
converse with you, to have you share your game, your story, and how you got to where you are. And I just honor you for continuing on in your journey with all of the challenges, with all of the things that didn't go right and the things that you've pushed through, because I know that you've left footprints on my heart and on
oh,
the other Bling Angels' hearts and all those that do your courses and buy your games. Like there's such a need for what you bring to the world. It's so empowering and encouraging and uplifting. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to call you my friend.
oh, me too, Ange. And you've all left big imprints on my heart as well. I love that. That is so touching. That's just beautiful. And
Oh,
and I think that that's what we're here for, aren't we? We're here to put
absolutely.
beautiful prints on each other's heart, not a heavy heart, a
No,
light heart.
yes. So thank you to everyone who listened today. If you would like any further information on coaching programs that I provide, coaching programs that Angie provides, you can reach me at angieb.com.au. That's angieb.com.au. And I'm always happy to pass on Angie Rassie's information as well as any information that you require from us. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ange. Thank you for a beautiful morning.
Thanks. Follow Angela on Facebook and LinkedIn at Angela Bennett, on Instagram at angieb_transformations, or visit angieb.com.au. And remember, your past does not define you, it refines you.